Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Sunless Skies. In the last episode we looked around and we've come to Carillion to see if we can find evidence of company propaganda, but I don't actually see anything here. I mean, we have blackmailed the Spirifer. Maybe we have to do this first, given what you know. Where does this go? He doesn't try to deny the accusations, though he does have a few words about the presiding deviless. Can't let it go, he says, irritably. I should have known how it would be. She spent too long with the penitents. Acts as though there's nothing wrong with a bit of corruption. Despite his bravado, he does seem a bit ashamed. Devils are supposed to get souls by contract. This one is no better than a pickpocket. So we can blackmail the Spirifer and keep his secret. He might pay well for your silence, as the presiding deviless would pay you for your speech. We can blackmail the Spirifer and betray him anyway. There's no honor amongst thieves, and the rose-gloved Spirifer certainly is a thief. Or we can offer to take him aboard. The presiding deviless is obviously on the verge of discovering him. If you have space, he will join your crew. You will not be able to return to inform the deviless about your discovery. Let's just go talk to the deviless. Oh, can I not back out of this? Let's blackmail him and betray him anyway. That seems like the most exciting option. He pays contraband for your cooperation. And I'd be obliged to you, he says. If you left Carillion soon, it would raise one's confidence in your silence. You do not, of course. There's a second conversation to be had. This one in the presiding deviless's beehive hut. Let's go and speak to the presiding deviless. The presiding deviless works in an office shaped like a beehive, a stone and wickerwork building that stands all alone in the middle of Carillion's central courtyard. She conducts intake interviews with new patients one by one. After a long time in line, we reach her at last. Greetings, my lady. How may we stretch, strain, purify and strengthen you, now that you've come to Carillion? Let's turn in the Spirifer. You know what he did. She should know also. He is diminishing her supply, after all. You lay out what you know. The rose-gloved devil has been stealing souls for himself, and not making proper contracts for them either. Spiriphage, she says. And I warned him. After a moment, her attention returns to you. He had a very different soul when we first met. This is the trouble with friendship among devils. Come back in 5 years' time and who knows? You may find me engaged in a smuggling operation of my own. So we can either demand a reward. She hinted that there would be one. Where is it? We can probe into the nature of the devil's souls. You may think it unsuitable for a human to know the answer to such questions. In fact, it might truly be unsuitable to know, or we can offer to take the Spirifer on board our engine. His presence here is evidently a source of difficulty. We would like to be rid of him. He might not wish to stay. Let's go with this, because we desperately need more crew. I would be grateful, says the presiding deviless. If I deal with him myself, I'll have to make an example of him. One is reluctant to do this. He was my mentor when I first arrived at Carillion. We gained 10 savage secrets, good lord. And we gained 1 crew. Let's return to the center of Carillion. Has anything new popped up? There really is nothing here about collusion, which is very strange. Yeah, there's definitely nothing here. Okay, well, I guess the next thing that I should do is probably go back to London to get some crew. Failing that, we could finally do the exploration in Traitor's Wood. I'm going to apologise about my voice. It's a little hoarser than normal. Oh dear. It's very hot. It's that time of year again where it just becomes incredibly painful to record things. Because it's like 28 degrees in this room right now and just slowly rising. And it makes the air dry, which makes it hard to speak. It's a very weak excuse, but hopefully it doesn't impact it too badly. So where is New Winchester? If we just go down here, I think it is about time. In order for us to do the not the nature reserve. Oh, what is it called? Bloody hell. Lustrum. Where are you? Traitor's Wood. In order to do the Traitor's Wood expedition, we needed supplies. So if I just buy an excess of supplies, we should be pretty good. We'll see if we come across anything. Ooh. Free stuff in the sky. Let's take it. Was that one hull repair? I guess that was the one hull I broke when I crashed leaving Carillion, right? Perfect. The engine is as shiny as new. Oh, I also need to go to Titania, don't I? Because we need the Titanian petal. Or the man at the nature reserve. No, I'll stick with my original plan, I feel. Let's do Traitor's Wood. It's probably going to take me most of the damn episode to actually drive down there. Because that's just how it takes. It takes a long time to get anywhere in this game. I am still on the right way. Especially with my sense of direction. My sense of direction is awful. As you all well know. I'd also point out, I'm playing this after Mask of the Rose has been released, which is very exciting. There is obviously the episode on the channel. I think there's going to be more episodes. Well, there is going to be more episodes, let's be honest. I'm not entirely sure what day to put them on yet. My channel's in a weird state of flux where I finished a few things, and I need to try and find out what days to replace them on. I'd like to get through Mask of the Rose a few times, maybe? I don't know. I might do one playthrough, or I might do a few playthroughs. I think it's designed to be played multiple times. So, we shall see. Mostly by how people enjoy watching it. Usually how I gauge the series. I'll definitely do at least one, though, that's for sure. And what else is there? Oh yeah, I finished Disco Elysium. So if you were waiting for me to finish that, you can watch the whole thing now. There's like 50 episodes. God, it's huge. Massive series. And it's brilliant. It's one of the best games I've ever played. Oh, with crew levels low, less vital duties have begun to slip. Like cleaning. Everything is covered in a layer of grime. There's a pervasive odour. It has passed the point of slovenness and begun to affect morale, safety, and the health of those on board. Well, reassign engineers to cleaning duty. Doing so will affect the efficiency of your engines and therefore cost you fuel, but this place has become an absolute sty. Engineers sweep, swab, scrub, sluice, and polish until things are, if not gleaming, at least no longer oozing. In the meantime, your locomotive steams along as best it can. Its engines, ever hungry. Slightly annoying. Means we're going to have to buy some fuel as well, I feel. I think we needed 2 supplies. So, but we're definitely getting more crew, because I'm getting sick of this low crew issue. Hire on crew. I'd like to hire 4 to 6, preferably 4. Oh, there we go. 80 sovereigns. We're fully staffed. Wonderful. What is in my bank here? Do we have any prospects that I could possibly take advantage of? Seeds for Port Avon. 3 packs of seeds for Port Avon. Or 5 for Titania. I have 4. I think I could go to Port Avon, I suppose? Not really part of my plan, though. Because if I go to Port Avon, I'm going to end up doing the Vagabond story. Oh, let's do it. Money's money. And I like money. We need to buy ourselves some fuel, and I'm going to buy more supplies, I think. That should give us enough. Let me just go to the bazaar and actually accept it here. 3 sacks of verdant seeds. Oh, you can get them at the Leadbeater and Stainrot Nature Reserve? Huh. So you can. Oh, that probably means... Man, Titania to... That's a really short jump. I'm going to grab that other prospect while I'm here. And then I just have to remember. Ooh, my brain is struggling. Let's just try and avoid combat, because if I get into a fight, I'm probably going to lose, let's be honest. Oh, we're going past Port Haven anyway, so yeah, perfect. I did pick them up, right? I did pick them up? I did pick them up. Sweet, let's go to Port Haven. It's on the way, it's perfect. A little bit of easy money. I don't think you make much money off of seeds, but, you know, it's better than nothing. Just have a drink there. I gotta stay hydrated. Scamp's Narrow. I still want to know what this bridge is for. I mean, obviously from crossing one side to another, but what are these buildings? Oh, hello, Takate. Do I want to kill a Takate? I did say I wanted to stay out of combat. Can't see when he's gonna shoot. Oh, that was close. The Takates favour scrappy, versatile engines. Yes, they do. Let's pillage their stores for fuel and supplies, and please don't kill one of my crew. Thank you. It makes all the difference. You search the section of the locomotive furthest from the fires and find several sacks of coal and supplies. We gained 2 fuel and 1 supply. And we're overboard. We're overweight. Let's get rid of some fuel, I think. Annoyingly so, because we're about to use another fuel. Maybe I should have got rid of a supply. Oh well. I figured I'd need the supplies. For expeditions in the Traitor's Wood. Alright, Port Haven should be just down here. Yeah. Oh. Loading into a new chunk probably means some nasty, nasty monster's going to be hanging around here somewhere. And here we are, Port Haven. There was no nasty monsters. We're going to speak to the vagabond while we're here. Why not? Let's go to the bazaar first. Drop off these seeds. Barely any money whatsoever. How upsetting. There is, however, some cloister nectar. I think I'll pass up on it for now. I'd rather save my money. I know it's not the best way of playing, but it'll work. So where did the vagabond want me to go? There are quite a day in Port Haven as well. 2 fuel for 20 sovereigns? Sure. Write a port report while we're here. I do not see a place to see. Is the village green, maybe? Here we go. The amenable vagabond. Seek out the court of the Skylarks. The camp has moved since the vagabond was here last. He stoops to examine a wooden post etched with dozens of signs. We call these Skylark signals, says the vagabond. The post has been carved with dozens of crude hieroglyphs. Top secret. We carve them to tell each other the character of a port. He jabs at a row of zigzags. This means unfriendly. He points at a triangle. But this means that there's a Skylark camp nearby. You follow him past the village's fringe. You hear voices raised in drunken song. Then you see a crumbling bridge, beneath which are campfires and tents. My loyal subjects, roars the vagabond, plunging down the slope. Stamping around the fires, singing of old adventures, howling and dancing and laughing. The Skylarks' coats are ragged. Their hygiene is questionable, and many of them bear unsightly scars. They seem to have found something to celebrate. Perhaps just that they've made it through the month. They raise their flasks and bottles in toast and roar together. My life is a lark. My king is the sky. Now we have two options. We can listen to stories around a campfire. The vagabond is in his element, raising his voice above all others. Occasionally, one of the other skylarks gets a turn. We can trade rumours. A group of flint-eyed skylarks are blowing smoke rings and sharing what they've learned while they roamed the high wilderness. Let's go with listen to stories around a campfire. A skylark hunches forward, his face skull-like in the firelight. He launches into a fanciful tale of somewhere, hidden in the furthest corner of the reach, called the Sugar-Spun Garden. The Sugar-Spun Garden is a mythical place where weary skylarks can settle down. He describes whiskey rivers and marzipan mountains in a land without laws. Skylark lucky enough to find his way here can sleep contently in a grove where even the trees are smiling. When he is finished, half the skylarks are weeping. The vagabond raises his flask solemnly. Cinders swirl into the night sky. Gain 3 sky stories. Let's trade some rumours. They discuss where to find work in New Winchester, the price of beer in Lustrum, the balance of the Winchester War. And wilder rumours too, of course. A wild-eyed skylark claims that the devils at Carillion are replacing people with doppelgangers. One woman, shivering, insists that she saw a 100-eyed monster the size of a continent swimming through the dark. Lastly, a solemn young woman announces that a skylark named Quivers has gone missing. It's been months since he was seen at camp or at any stations. Probably dead. There are 1,000 ways for a skylark to die before their time. Well, we can leave the camp. The party is dying down. Many of the skylarks are asleep in their tents or drifting back to the station in search of a ride. You search among the tents for the amenable vagabond and find him fast asleep beside a dwindling fire. A flea-bitten dog is gnawing at one of his boots. The skylarks are quite happy to let their so-called king sleep it off in the dirt. You shake him, and he wakes with a noise like a bear being stabbed. "Another fine meeting with my loyal subjects," declares the vagabond, lurching to his feet and swaying only slightly. "Come, let us return to the engine. Adventure awaits." He sets off confidently in the wrong direction. The vagabond's wanderlust is never sated. If you talk to him again, he might wish to visit somewhere new, and the vagabond's respect for you has grown. Oh, while we're here, let's take a relaxing stroll around the village. Our terror has fallen. Let's talk to the vagabond again. I could visit the allotments. We have a 100% chance. In fenced plots across Port Avon, grizzled horticulturalists tame a rampant vegetation of the Reach. The contents of the allotments are unlike familiar vegetables, but it helps to look for the similarities. The bulbor's squash is too lumpen, too spotty, too purple to be a marrow, but it is more like a marrow than it is like a cucumber. The little fruits clumped on the serpentine vines are certainly not cherries. Cherries are not hairy, but they are closer to cherries than they are to, say, kiwi fruit or otters. Call it a marrow then. Call them cherries. It helps somehow. The gardener, mistaking your cognitive reshuffle for hunger, offers you a handful of freshly dug, tapered, tiger-striped roots. Let's call them carrots. Okay. Let's speak to the vagabond again. We can speak of the wonders of the sky. The vagabond has seemed uncharacteristically morose of late. Perhaps you can cheer him up. Since you left Porthaven, the vagabond has limited his fiddle playing to the most melancholy refrains. Every time, it leaves the boiler man in such a tearful mess that he has to abandon his duties. You share a drink and a few stories with the vagabond, hoping to get to the root of the matter. Even among skylarks, I don't feel quite at home, he says. I can't stop thinking about my old homestead in Lustrum. Perhaps we could visit there someday. Ah, Captain, take this flask away from me. Whiskey and nostalgia is a dangerous combination. Let me just write down that he wants to go to Lustrum. Okay. Let's carry on to Traitor's Wood, which was the original plan all along. We should have enough time, hopefully. I don't actually remember the story of Traitor's Wood, so that's going to be fun. And here we are, Traitor's Wood. I couldn't get the eels, damn it. I need to get myself some butchery equipment. I'm passing up on free supplies, it's crazy. But here's the dock. Let's see if we can set off on a expedition. Hopefully nobody dies. Kind of 50-50 these days. I've killed a lot of crewmen in this playthrough so far. Okay, expeditions into the woods deep. Wait, can I get a port report around here somewhere? So far it doesn't look like it, does it? Parting glade, maybe? Right, a port report, here we go. There's no one here, but perhaps someone will take an interest in how the wood fares. Okay, and then let's see if we can do an expedition. Somerset College has, until recently, funded expeditions into the forest. Those who return speak of voices on the wind, of murmurs in uninhabited groves. Let's go on a small expedition, huh? Because I can't go on a big one, I don't have enough crew. You'll take only a few hardy souls. You'll risk fewer crew, but increase the chance of failure. This is going to do 2 supplies, 2 fuel. 5 crew. Oh god. A handful of your most loyal crew volunteer to join you. They hoist packs and eye each other with grim satisfaction. I like to think that the red-gloved Spitfire is still just on the train. Just like, nope, I'm not going. I'm guessing to try and get to the Giggling place, yes. The sigils on the scythe suggest it was connected in some way. You're sure the name, however, is an error of translation. This is an expedition of moderate difficulty. The more crew you take, the easier the expedition, though you risk more of your men. Once again, the scholars wave cheerily as you prepare your crew for another venture under the whispering borders of Traitor's Wood. It begins to pour. The grey sky is angry. Your crew look desperate to make camp, and progress will be slow over sodden ground. Perhaps this is an opportunity to recover some of your strength. We've taken 1 step into the wood. It's time to rest. Set up the camps. The navigator discovers a hollow way running through a vast copse of blackwood. You can set a watch at both ends and light fire without being seen from elsewhere in the wood. Your crew stay up late, swapping stories of old rulers and their various ends. Your sleep is dreamless as death. That terror has fallen. Long shadows move through the silver trees ahead. That is a mournful howl. Someone sounds hungry. A stoker tries to joke. A low growling comes from behind you. The beasts have your scent. So we can either draw the beasts out for a 36% chance, or we can hide from the beasts for an 86% chance. Better safe than sorry. I'm going to hope for the 86. You slip under the eaves of a copse of white trees, pale as a corpse's flesh. Slowly, silently, you creep under the canopy. You hear the occasional crunch of bone or branch as your pursuers enter the wood after you. Eventually, the pursuit trails off. You find your crew again on a hill overlooking a bog. we found it. The tree line parts ahead. Enter the Giggling place. A shaded dell. Below, a steep and cruel hill. Bright laughter emanates from within the shadowed dell before you. Maybe Giggling place wasn't a mistranslation. Within the dell, the laughter becomes cacophonous. Your crew must cover their ears as you press forward through the dripping undergrowth. White ferns whisper as they brush against your heads, your hands. Ahead you can hear the lowering of beasts. The air is cold as the grave. Entering the Regent's grave, beware, you are in the Giggling place. You inch forward as the laughter crescendos, washing over you. A copse of trees, grey as a rainstorm, lies ahead. It blocks the rest of the dell from sight, but it's the only way forward. We can either go alone, spare your crew whatever laughs at you from behind shadowed trees, or we can send our crew. You cannot afford to risk yourself. Mockery won't make you reckless. Let's go alone. Your crew are loyal and protest, but their relief is palpable. You stride through the trees, the distant starlight dappling their grey leaves silver. You are greeted with laughter, as bright and insistent as a blade at the throat. It emerges from the dell, which descends to a gap in the trees. A canopy of dripping leaves conceals what lies ahead. Laughter, high and mirthless, can be heard very close by. You must go forward. Let's enter the hollow. Voices echo from within the cleft in the earth. At the very bottom of the dell is a brook. The water babbles and chuckles, murmurs and giggles. A bronze seal gleams just under the surface. As you reach to take it, 3 faces are reflected in the water next to yours. You are being watched by a 3-headed fox, the size and colour of a polar bear. It speaks, but with your voice, your vocal patterns stolen in service of its speech. Mourn not the wild trees nor the slain servant. Open the silent barrows. The fox flees into the wood. Your throat aches. Ow! Good god damn it, I lost 1 mirrors, 1 hearts, 1 veils, and 1 irons. God damn it. I need those stats. I need to return to the scholars. Right, so last time we asked for the advice for the paleographers. Let's see what everyone's theory is here. Let's speak to the feckless theologian first. Ask the theologian about the barrows of silence. Oh, I will only be able to ask 1 scholar, of course. Okay, let's stick with the person we went with last time, the paleographer. Ask the paleographer about the barrows of silence. The name of the barrows was told to you in the woods. The paleographer paces his tent. Animals that speak? That doesn't fit. What will I say to the Senate? His voice catches. I will not just give up on Charlemagne. He rifles through his papers. Perhaps we'll find more useful evidence in these barrows. We did find a reference to quiet graves on an old tablet written in the correspondence. It must be the same place. It was described as a place deeds were made. Haha. He finds his notes and makes a mark on your map. 250 sovereigns and 250 experience. And that would be another expedition location, I believe. What do we need for that? Just another small expedition? Okay, well, this is where I'm going to end this episode. I'm going to thank you all very much for being here. Please like, subscribe, let me know what you think. Your comments are greatly appreciated. Thank you again to the members of the channel. It really does help keep the channel going. And as always, I'll see you next time.